Hey, one of Westside Gunn's most iconic albums, and it got what I think is clearly one of the best R&B songs ever written. Let's get to it.
Fuck niggas fear me, bitches love me. King cool with Jackie Chan, neck looking husky. Fiend hit the pipe one time, did the doggy.
That junk so cold. The Fiend hit the. I like when rappers have a little signature style, the special move, and one of Westside Gunn's when he'll say a Fiend did the name the dance move. The imagery on that hilarious.
Where you from? Have a little nigga shoot your born up. Drug dealer was necessary. 38 with the potato season. Peri. My Mac, that's sensational Sherri.
Necessary Peri is a 4-syllable rhyme. He don't have the cleanest rhyme scheme, but he'll flash it. At this point in his career, his lyricism is progressively getting better. You can tell the difference between this and something that came out in like 2018.
Times look like M&M's, we had housing on lit. Everybody rockin' 50 now, shit looking crazy. Griselda like the coke in the 80s.
That's a good line.
Had to duck a couple times, tripping in my jewels. Bullets hit this bitch, she started bleeding on my lubes. Bitches say rich as fuck, pretty and boom. Metal Gear, Stone Island. Cherry 63, I bought that shit with no mileage.
Ho, come get me. I might come home 60. If I get head in the whip, she might come home sticky. They work God. You know when pies get measured, that's when ties get severed. Nigga, we ain't never squash it.
I'm saying that's a fact, like I was out here dealing. It sound like a fact. Hey, everything you say, unbelievable.
My niggas in the field, letting takes off. Ratchets pop and the rest in them hills. And them wreck y'all. Shadow boxing, take a rapper chain. Bring it here.
Westside Gunn, normally the king of having the 5 periods in imagery, but the dudes in the yard shadow boxing, I like that line a lot. Benny got in gun bad right there.
My eyes done seen shit my kids can't imagine watching.
That's crazy.
Put you in a casket for the hat you rockin'. Dope boy, I had to use a mattress as an extra pocket.
It ain't even nothing crazy. It's just the wording so clean. Money in the match, had to use it an extra pocket. That's tough.
I was there when it jumped off. This for my nigga in the feds who won't get to see his son crawl. Let's go.
That's crazy. Hey, that song ain't perfect, but Westside Gunn opening up his albums with Benny, that's a cheat code, dog. He had a fire verse, just like he did in his opening verse of Supreme, Blind Tell, Hitler 6. And this time period in Griselda, man, Benny was Gunn's secret weapon. He did his usual thing, clean rhyme schemes, but it was really the vivid street talk that made his verse really fire. I like his homie locked up, ain't gonna get to see his son draw. I like my obscene stuff my kids can't imagine seeing. The mattress as an extra pocket. Dude was talking. I think Westside Gunn's performance was cool. It was really just too long. I think he probably should have had one verse on here. The song went a while and it feels like it drags on in part because the beat is so bare bones and minimal, but we'll get into a second. But he did have his spots. Charisma was on display. Every time he pulled out that singy-songy delivery, I thought he hit. Well, he also had a couple of dry spots where he wasn't really saying too much or the rhyming was basic. But on the same note, he did have parts where I liked what he was saying. The beat here would be a little bit better if it was a 2-minute track. You just had that really bare bones, minimal loop. The pace on it feels minimal with that single drum hit, tribal drum hit. So pretty good song, a little bit too long, but Benny carried. This is Bautista.
Stepping on the coke ass piece, Nicky Diamonds. You couldn't
like
walk
this delivery.
Put the bear on his island. You fuck niggas can't rhyme here, no time shit. The new king in New York, I'll be your highness.
That's a fire opener.
Bullets back and forth like table tennis.
Yeah, that's an extremely strong opener. I always thought that either Benny's verse or this song should have been the opener to this album, but let's not get too far ahead of ourselves.
He lost weight in prison. He came home just to lay on niggas.
Slanted 4-syllable. He having flashes of lyricism. He didn't really have this in his earlier albums. I love this street talk, the coke talk. I like how he just effortlessly incorporated that WWE bar. It's like that over-the-top violence, power driving him off the top rope. Then he had a little ad placement. He threw his own label in that 4th rope.
Surfing on the rave, shooting off the roof. Bitch, the hit his baby mom's pulling head of cool.
His performance, his delivery is fire. That's a fire chorus. It's in and out quick, but that's a tough chorus to me. Pads it right now. Back-to-back 3-syllable rhyme scheme. That man is rapping right now. He's playing with this alliteration too. Bro, Westside Gunn hit y'all with the song structure. He gave y'all a chorus. Now you got a little bridge. Look, man, when people go through Westside Gunn's best songs, I don't see how this is not in the conversation. This song is fire. In my opinion, this is easily one of his better songs. It's some of the best rapping he's had. Both verses was fire. The sing-songy delivery as he opened, let's hear the island. That whole delivery was fire. The bullets back and forth like table tennis line is fire. The gritty imagery, the coat talk, and then he left Earth in that second verse. I love this beat too. It was really minimal too, with basically just that piano driving it and a nice little boom bap drum pattern. But it was tough, man. At least for a Westside Gunn song with no features, this is one of the better ones. This is Lunchin. Everybody put your lighters up. Those keys sound so eclectic. The keys that's behind the strings that's at the forefront.
Don't let
that back-to-back 2-syllable.
I pray to God that the scale ain't on. Proud of slippers, jewelry glistening, put up half the roof missing.
Come on, man. This dude is rapping right now. It ain't the most insane rhyme schemes, but it's really clean.
Stuffed chicken getting fed by 2
Then beginning of the album, I think his delivery's been at a 10 out of 10. He's really leaning to his charisma and playing into these more melodic flows.
Smacking with the 49's tooth missing. Laid him on the table, had the pool stick him.
I don't care what nobody say. That's gay.
Coke pot like pot of gold, cop and hold. My microwave, rock and roll, let's lock and load. Tiffany handles on the white.
That's another good rhyme scheme right there.
I'm on the yard with the bone crusher, like Lunchin.
Hey, that line ain't even that crazy, dog, but the way that he perform it, you just gotta sing it with him. Dog, I'm struggling.
Try to jump the fence, Lord, why you do that? Kids never seen him since, Lord.
Imagine if this was the last call.
Here we go. Ooh, that would be great. Ooh, that would have been great.
Imagine your mom snorting lines of white.
Why?
Imagine the feeling when the judge gave him life. Imagine if Westside Gunn never touched the mic.
Imagine if Franklin Saint never made white. Imagine if B-side was A-side. Dog, these poems is not hard, dog. These poems is basic. But hey, it's not enough to ruin the song, because this beat is cold. I know I act like I hate strings at times, but I really just hate the strings that sound like the 2000 backpacker strings. When the strings actually sound good, sound majestic, like the strings that Westside Gunn can pick out a lot of times, they sound amazing. And then those keys that are behind it sound good. I think Westside Gunn's rapping had flashes of good lyricism in there, but the main star once again was his delivery and that melodic flow. I like the song structure that we're seeing. Bautista had really good song structure, and I thought this had good song structure with the chorus, the little bridge in the middle. It's something that I don't really expect from this lane of hip hop, and it's something that a lot of rappers be messing up. Like, bro, we can find a bunch of really sketchy Conway the Machine choruses, but Westside Gunn normally do a good job of pulling them off. I like this song a lot. This is Ferragamo Funeral.
Philip Lim shot a 44, he hit take a Vanetta. 50 with the feather, no stretcher. He overdosed after second wet, make it better. Craig Green had the triple beam, it's set up.
Hey, Westside Gunn describing a typical day at Lenox Mall. They be airing Lenox out.
Started with a double up, didn't get a double. Pillow on your head, make the Mac sound muffled. Good night, rest well. Good night, sleep tight.
Hey, I like the concept of the song, and it was in and out. It didn't stay longer than it needed to. The rapping ain't crazy, but that concept of Westside Gunn creating this fantasy world of all these designers committing crimes, it's something he's done a couple of times. R.I.P. Bergdorf comes to the top of mind off of Hitler Side B, Hitler 8 Side B, that is, with my homie. You know, like how when we was kids, they had these crossovers where That's So Raven would be on Sweet Life of Zack and Cody or whatever the show was. This is like a crossover of Twilight Zone, New York Fashion Week, and the Slumps. I think that soul vocal sample was cool. Pretty good song. This is Styles of Shot Mac.
Flossing up and Harry Ross listen, I stare.
I like how none of the features listed on here. This album came out not too far after Astroworld, and that was the most prominent album that did that, or the first prominent album that did that, in my opinion. So he playing into that vibe, taking influence from that.
Last week I'm about to spend.
And I'll compare Westside Gunn to Travis Scott before, so that's fitting.
I'm about to spend a portion, never divorcing with this life, so I'ma die in gold. I abide the code. Meanwhile, your cats divide fold, told and got paroled.
Hey, man, Lorenz sound like he can win chain smoking contests, but I like how he playing with this old sound right here.
Change the channel or I smack you through the TV. From $500 to a hand for a half a gram. That was trench coats imported from Japan and Amsterdam. I have to plan to keep it going. Life is like an escalator.
That had to plan Amsterdam 3-syllable round scheme. That was tough.
Don't make me have to fly and shoot us from across the border. Eating celery root and pear bisque with some rare fish.
Bruh, rich people be doing junk just to do it, dog. Cause like, you can't tell me celery root sound appealing. Like, there's no way that junk is better than fries. And while we at it, dog, have these fish they be pulling out of the ocean, they can put it back. Like, swordfish is trash, dog. They be finessing y'all. Like, come on, bro. Pound for pound, I'm taking popcorn shrimp over some swordfish. But I'm gonna let him do his thing, though.
She always pop the lock, I'm on the yard with the knife. Money on your head, what's the price, what's the price? Cook the whole brick kitchen, ain't had no light. We up
I don't like this round scheme, it's too basic.
That's on Thursday, eat chicken with the drug lords.
Like, come on, bro. Westside Gunn, prison food sound better than them celery roots.
I had a brown skinned girl, same color as my Dutch. She said, Holly, go drag your nuts. She queefed melodically. In Greek mythology, Nike is the goddess of victory, and that's lit to me. We higher than a war drone, in a war zone. I should win awards, bro, and go on tour, ho.
Hologram's a pretty good rapper, but every time I review him, I just catch him on a bad day. Like, dog, he can't catch a break on this channel. He had a verse on, I think, Mayhem's last album that I thought was garbage. And I think he caught shots from one of them Muggs albums I reviewed, but he a better rapper than this, man. These metaphors ain't it, dog. Like, the same color of my Duchess, all right, that's cool. But the queef line, the high as a war drone, too basic, nah, dog.
Niggas in your bushes, they waiting to let the case smoke. The shooter had to sniff a 50 just so he could stay woke. Should've either that or I slipped and tell her a bank note. My dog just came home
I like that.
So he can't smoke.
I like that. I mean, he really saying regular stuff, but it's the wording, man. It's either that or slip the teller a bank note saying we either cooking up coke or we robbing somebody.
Push the Scaglietti, Geiger double O2s. Wear your gloves when you bagging Fetty. Who's the better rapper? I haven't met him. Had my little savage wedding. I hope your mama got a casket ready.
I think the beat was cool. That's a nice soul sample that was chopped up in a really interesting way. But the rapping was all over the place, dog. I think Mayhem started strong. He was in his typical bag, that mob bars mixed with the luxury talk. I thought his rhyme schemes were pretty strong. But then Westside Gunn had his lightest verse on the whole album. He's definitely had moments where the rapping was up here. But man, that was too basic. 1-syllable rapping. It was somewhat vivid, and he did pick it up probably about 2/3 of the way through. But nah. Hologram, I don't know what he was on. And then Conway was fire, but it was garbage time points. The song is only 3.5 minutes, but it just feels so much longer. It feels like it drags on, I guess because it don't have no chorus or nothing and it's too minimal. And then on that same note, when you're in this minimalistic lane, the rapping can't just be good. It got to be really good or better. It's a 4-beat loop, but the rapping is just run of the mill. The song's gonna get old quick. And there was points where the rapping wasn't even okay on here. Conway and Mayhem, they tried to be Pat Mahomes and Travis Kelce, but Hologram came out here like Kadarius Toney. This is Birkin. Come on, y'all, do it with me. Hey, when the beat go up an octave right there, it's tough. It's a cinematic beat. So beautiful.
We the flyest of them all.
Bro, that song's so angry, dog. This and Kennedy, dog. When they say Griselda play that Scared the Hoes music, dog, just pointing at this and Kennedy. Harmonizing You Ever Seen Brains Before is outrageous. The whole song was outrageous. Westside Gunn really got something special when he get in that melodic delivery, and this and the Kennedy, it just really playing to this. On a serious note, I can understand if you hate this song, but I don't. I think it's brilliant. There's other rappers who've done similar stuff, and I think it's came off equally good, like Freddie Gibbs's FM from that Freddie album. The strings on here sound majestic, and a lot of these beats sound really cohesive because that lo-fi aesthetic that they all have. Like, you can almost hear the grain on this one. But yeah, tough song to me. This is Pete Sate.
Nigga, my kicks cost your mortgage. My bricks and my bitch was imported. We zipped through in Porsches. I used to have zips of the purest. Even had a mean run in DC like Clinton Portis.
Come on, man. This is rapping, dog. It's really like a pseudo 3-syllable rhyme scheme. It's really a 2-syllable and a 1-syllable, but he's back to back with the brick sound on the internal part of the rhyme, and then he's leaving it with Porsches, and then sometimes he'll combine it and make it a imported 3-syllable, but it's still the it sound and the ported sound. That's rapping, dog. That's a strong opener.
I keep the stick when I'm touring. I don't Ford Explorer. Push the Lamborghini yours so I can assure I floored it.
Now he back to back with the Oris part of it. It's just he got 2 rhyme schemes, and he's just back to back with both of them, weaving in between both.
And just in case of smoke, I brought the 40 to sort it. Niggas mad because they 40 and dormant. They still in the projects.
That's so fire, and it sounds so good with the rhyme scheme.
My shooter lay Harden because he involved in all the story.
I like that.
Yeah. And Flygod is an awesome guy. That little nigga
What you
hit
tell
3
him?
niggas. I told him awesome job. Don't give a fuck about no.
It's so basic, but it's charismatic. Come on, man.
They can all get robbed. This shit is easy like cold pepper throwing Mars alive.
Hey, Conway spit a 16. I told him awesome job, bro. That's a verse, man. That opening rhyme scheme that he took, like 75% of the verse was amazing. And then he flipped it to that awesome job rhyme scheme. Bunch of charismatic lines. That verse is crazy.
That's how I jumped in the foreign, right out of Ford Fusion. Small Ruger, ground shots run you down like Carl Lewis. Well, I can have you raw do it.
I like that.
Mix your food with car fluid. Been a boss, now I'm a coach. I'm talking John Gruden, Don Shula, GXF Taliban, Saddam shooters.
That's a good 3-syllable rhyme scheme, especially how he's using it within the bar too.
But you come in, whip a brick hard and then tip the cooker. Tip the coffin rope, peas flying like Jimmy Snooker.
They're incorporating the wrestling bars. I think most Griselda fans have this album pretty high on the list of Griselda projects. I personally do, and while sonically I don't think it's as groundbreaking as like a Supreme Blind Tail or a Flygod, the reason it's so high is it's got really special moments. This is another extremely good song. The Conway verse is one of his best. I mean, Conway got some amazing verses. This gotta be in the top 10, man. What he did with the rhyme schemes and the charisma, amazing. And then for it to go over this eclectic sample, Benny, he had a good verse. He put up a cool 23, 25 points. And yet Conway went off for 50. And he had 10 assists while he was at it. But I think it was a great song. Good verse from Benny. Amazing verse from Conway. One of the most eclectic beats on the album with that weird sound effect and the vocal samples. This is Amherst Station 3. Gorgeous piano sample.
Rode up bikes over Kensington Bridge. Trinidad pork and free lunch. Right back in 97, me and Lauren had our neck slit. Walking through Bennett, I was plotting on the next bitch. Budo, machine gun went back, just dumping. Showed up to school Monday like fuck em. 56 pimp of the year, I beat with them. That's when shit fucked you around. When shit fucked you around.
It's gonna sound crazy because I think Amherst Station 3 is the lightest out of the first 3, but it's still a good song. I think it just speaks to how good the first 2 are. This has the lowest energy beat out of the first 3, and then lyrically, I think he has higher highs, especially on the second one. But I love the slow, melancholy vibe of it to match the storytelling here. And Westside Gunn is really good when he gets into the linear storytelling. I'm getting ahead of myself, but take this, Freddie Hotspot, he got it in his bag. He just don't pull it out a bunch. And then I like how all the storytelling was done, but weaving from the perspective of different relationships. So it ain't the craziest song on here, but I still think it's a good one. This is Dance for Love.
I only had to see you once to fall in love with you. I did my bid, you held me down, I had to fuck with you. my baby when I'm out on tour. Just loyalty I hold for.
I like that chop right there a lot.
Don't fall, you see his pussy. You got me licking front and back. Anybody fuck this, y'all get the Mac.
Hey, this is when Westside Gunn was self-aware and not giving us 10 5-minute trap songs. Let me not get into that. But there's another song where he ain't let it go longer than it needed to go. There's another one of his love songs, these felony thug passion songs. One of them baby will you please or hold this in your crack type songs. The rapping ain't crazy, but I like the content switch up. I will say the beat is fire. The sample alone is great and it was chopped up in a really subtle but creative way. Overall, I think this is a good song. This is Gunnlib. Hey, talk about good chops. This chopped up to perfection. I wouldn't expect less from Madlib though.
Cook the brick with no stove, push the gold demon. Before I tell Kim
Cook the brick with no snow. This was the precursor to the open of Flygod is an awesome guy too. He was already telling us beforehand what was going on.
You know the reasons. Hey, yo, I got locked up.
Hey, when he flipped to the different part of the sample right there is crazy.
Go to B block, you know Doc got the seasoning. Poem by the prayer rug, leave it. Now we gon' break fast noodles for the reason.
Look, I ain't Muslim, but that gotta be haram.
10 o'clock out, we may slide up in Emus 5 times.
That probably is too.
Didn't hit them all, but it was close enough.
I like that.
So you know it's us. We ain't wanna kill him, all we wanna do is rob him. Back with Hillary Green drop, you was in the mountain. On the dance floors, grease tanks, spike Laboutins. C.O. Jones, let us get the...
Yo, this is the first time I realized what this man said. He said Laboutins. Bro, I think this man is saying Louboutins. I hope that ain't the case because people be switching up pronunciations to make a rhyme. If this is the case, this is one of the most egregious ones I heard.
Need to use the phone, I'ma need 1,000 mackerels.
Hey, watch it turn out some French person come through and be like, well, actually the way to pronounce this is Louboutin.
Rockin' on fight, I told the Virgil was a DJ.
I like that line. RP Virgil. At this point of the album's getting carried by charisma and great production choices. This beat is amazing. Probably between this and Lunchin over what's the best beat on here. I can see an argument for Pete's sake too, but the regular loop and then switch to the other part of the sample after like 8 bars or so. Once again, I like the melodic delivery from Westside Gunn. Lyrically, the rapping was average at best, but he did have some charismatic lines mixed in there that I like. I think it's a really good song, but the lib part of Gunnlib did most of the heavy lifting. Let's close this thing out with Lakers versus Rockets. I'm gonna have to turn the volume down. My boy finna come in here yelling. Dog, I love this beat, and it could be complete bias because RP Sean Price is the same sample as Barbarian by Sean Price, with the guitar sample, and this part of the sample has the vocal part of it muffled, but it's a really good sample.
Let me do my dance in the gallery of Functionella. We the commissary lords, nigga, get your mail up. My side bitch want a lace front, and the nails done. I love my side bitch.
Come through yelling.
Prostitutes selling pussy by the parking meters. 60 white bitches in my cell phone. I'm Charlie Sheenan.
Bro, that sound like a case.
I'm serving good burgers around this bitch. I'm killing Keenan. The jacket bathed in Nate.
That good burgers line talk.
My bulldog a pimp 25K for his semen. His stud fee worth your plug.
Hey man, I don't think Sauce Walker the best rapper, but can't nobody argue. This man be in the trenches. Like selling pits, that's hood entrepreneurship right there.
I had to learn to love the block. Nobody loved me. My name enormous in the concrete.
Bro, Sauce Walker is Fabo in a grimier colorway, dog. Yo, this song is not good, bro. I don't know why y'all like this song so much. It's not fire. The beat cool. And then I can take Gunn or Sauce Walker. I can't take both of them on the song with this slow dragging on delivery. Sauce had some bars that was grimy, but the rapping just way too basic for me. I do like his delivery, but going from Amherst Station to the end of the track, it's just too many tracks where it's relying on delivery more than lyricism. And I already told you why in this lane of hip hop, you can't really get by with that. I personally think this is one of the lightest songs on the album. Album though, fire. I think for Westside Gunn, he definitely has albums where the rapping is better. I think this part of his career is where he really starts elevating his pen. I think from late 2018, right before this album, to like Pray for Paris, that's when we saw a huge elevation, and this is on that path of elevation for him. But we only saw the lyricism in flashes, particularly on the first half of the album. I mean, songs like Bautista, his rapping was great, but then on the last half of the album, I think it was just basic rapping, but his delivery was good enough to hold the song, especially given how good the production was. But Westside Gunn's rapping not being amazing doesn't typically make or break his albums. It's just the features were kind of scarce compared to like Hitler 7, even like a Hitler 6. Now you do have really strong ones like Benny's verse on Sensational Sherri and Conway's verse on Pete Say was the best verse on the album. But then you got misses like Hologram, Sauce Walker. So overall, the rapping I think was good, but I think it was just that it was good. It wasn't great, but what really carried this album is the production was fire from start to finish. Then the highs on the album, man, you just can't understate. Some of Westside Gunn's best tracks are on here: Pete Say, Bautista, Gunnlib, Lunchin. And look, I'ma Die on the Birkin is a fire song here. I think songs like that make up for the lulls that you had through the album. And while I wouldn't put it in the highest tier of Westside Gunn's album with your Flygod or your Supreme Blind Tale, I think it's certainly in that next tier. It's a really good album.